Twilight is a spy and his mission is to stop a war to stay undercover. He changes his identity and marries a woman who's secretly an assassin. He also adopts a daughter, a cute telepath who can read people's minds, while they pretend to be a normal family and hide their identity to save the world. It all begins in the country of Ostania, when a diplomat's car suddenly fails and crashes off a bridge. Then a guy says, "One of our country's diplomats just died in an accident, though we think he was assassinated. Since Ostania killed our diplomat, it becomes clear they are going to start a war against Westphalia. And in order to save our country, we decided to put our best spy on the job." Then we see a man receiving some photos. As he leaves, another man with the same face appears and asks for the photos. He realized he got deceived. Not from a normal spy, but a spy named Twilight, who is a master of disguise and a man of 100 faces. Next we see him in a restaurant eating. His girlfriend says, "Today my dad was so mad cause someone stole his picture." Then she looks at some couple marrying and says, "When are we going to get married?" But instead, he breaks up with her and leaves. Walking, he thinks. Now he finished his mission and got the pictures from her dad, so now she is of no use to him. Next day, he trades newspapers with an old man at the train station. While on the train, he reads a hidden message in the newspaper from his agency. "Your next target is Desmond, a party leader in Ostania, planning war against Westeros. You have to stop him, but he only shows up at his son's school events. To get close to him, you must have a child and enroll your kid in same school. You've got just 1 week." He tears the paper in frustration. "How I'm supposed to get kid in 1 week?" Then he reads more. "It's a top secret mission. Your heroic work will never see light of the day, but because of you, many lives will be saved, and everyone will live peacefully." Next day in city, he finds a new house and buys it under his new identity, Lloyd Forger. Later, he visits an orphanage to adopt a child, and orphanage keeper asks him to come in. As he walks, he sees many orphans staring at him. He tells the keeper, "I want a kid who can read and write," so he shows him the sharpest girl named Anya. Twilight thinks Eden College only accepts 6 years old. She seems 4 or 5, but she says I'm 6, which surprises him. How she knows my thoughts. She shows him a crossword puzzle. That's too difficult for a kid. He says the answers in his mind while she writes. Now he sees them. He's surprised she gets them right. He then says, "I will take her." Unknown to him, Anya is a telepath who was reading his mind to give perfect answers. Outside, Lloyd tells her to act like his daughter and call him dad. He introduces her to his neighbor, then they enter in their house, and she turns on TV. She says Spy Wars is her favorite show and starts watching. He thinks of going out and says I'll be back soon, but she runs to hold his leg. "I will go with you, Papa." Outside, she's too loud, which concerns Lloyd. She's drawing attention. In next moment she is stuck in crowd, an old lady helps her. Now he walks holding her hand and wonders if he can fight his enemy while holding her. Hearing his thoughts, she runs to hide thinking an enemy is there. He wonders, did I do something wrong? I need to understand her. She then realizes there is no enemy. So she comes out and says I like peanuts. "Papa, buy from that bakery." Next she tries to buy Spy War poster with 10 pence coins. It's not enough, so Lloyd hands a note. He starts thinking she doesn't appear intelligent. Should I trade her with another kid, which makes her cry. After he takes her home and some instruction manuals for raising a child. At home he starts reading them, which says it's important to build a trust to have a good relationship with a child. Meanwhile, Anya sleeps peacefully. Next morning, Anya refuses to study. Lloyd says you need to clear a school test, so it's necessary, because if you fail, in his mind he says my mission fails. Afterwards he says I'm heading out and you're not coming with me, not today. He steps out, but Anya wants to go with him. She hides in different places so she can go after him, but he sees her. She thinks Papa is good in hide and seek. This is fun. In the end he blocks the door with a heavy table to stop her, then meets with his informant Frankie, who gives him a copy of the school test saying, "I went through hell getting these." He also tells he got some intel about Anya's past but couldn't find anything about her age or parents. But she has been adopted and returned 4 times now. She was sent to the orphanage at last when you went to adopt her. Lloyd reads out all her past surnames. Anya Williams, Anya Levski, Anya Roche, Anya Klein. Frankie comments, "Changes names like you. You guys are perfect match." Lloyd then leaves from there. At home, Anya feels bored. She feels being a spy is cool and wants a bomb. She remembers Dad locking his spy tools and she hears him saying password in his mind. Now she goes there and opens the case. She finds his spy tools and begins to play with them. She mistakenly sends a text to Karen's dad, who has been tracking Twilight. His subordinate says Twilight is saying catch me if you can. On other side, Anya thinks her dad may send her away if he finds out she messed with his spy tools or reads minds. She remembers the organization that made her told her not to let anyone know she can read minds. They want to use her power to achieve world world peace. She starts crying, she's just a child but had no good time like other kids. Moment later, Dad returns and opens the door. Unknown to him, a man is hiding near a chair in the room. Another man tries to hit him, but he manages to dodge and punch him. Man behind the sofa comes out to shoot him. He dodges the bullet, he grabs the chair and runs to hit him. He starts finding Anya, but she's nowhere at house. He wonders who sent the men. Maybe someone knows about his location already. Now he might have to get new kid and place to stay. Just then, one of the men hits him with a rod. Meanwhile, boss has kidnapped Anya, and they say she was there from where Twilight sent message. She realizes she messed up. A guy says, "Boss, I think keeping her as hostage is useless," and gets shot. He then lights up his cigarette saying, "I don't like to get questioned." One of his men says others have returned from Twilight's apartment. One puts the Lloyd in front of the boss saying he was really a big deal. Boss tells him, "Why you don't return those photographs you stole from me?" He removes the mask and realizes Twilight deceived them. He escapes from there taking Anya again disguised. Anya cries thinking her dad is in with the men. He assures her he'll not hurt her and thinks, "I hate when kids cry. It brings memories of his childhood. He lost his family and cried lonely, but no one saved him." Getting outside, he writes down something on a paper and tells her to go down the street to find a police station and give them the paper. He feels they will put her in a better orphanage. He doesn't want to put her in danger because of his mission and asks her to run. While running, Anya turns to see him. He removes his fake mask, which shocks her. While the men want to go after him, but he already set a trap to stop them. All of them become confused and someone is knocking them down one by one. And in no time, Twilight appears from behind and points a gun at Boss's head. "Turn around and you're dead." He asks how Karen is doing. Boss asks, "How do you know my daughter?" Twilight says, "I'm a spy, I know everything. If you care about her, leave me alone or I'll harm your daughter." In no time, he's walking down the street. To his surprise, Anya has been waiting for him. When she sees him, she runs to him. She holds him tightly. He says, "I came here to do some shopping." She thinks Papa is a big liar. She says, "I want to go home with you, Papa." He says, "Okay, let's go home." While sitting on the train, she thinks Papa is a liar, but a cool liar. Now the test day finally comes. Anya is in test room with others. She hears other kids saying that test is hard in their minds, but she remembers the answers she memorized with the dad, and writes them down whatever she remembers. Next, the results are out and Lloyd finally spots her name in passing list. Her dad happily carries her. He falls to the ground and for the first time he feels tired and wonders why. Lloyd's informant dresses like a lady, trying to act as a mum for Anya, but she says, "I don't want this mum." Sadly, he doesn't look like a lady, and that makes Lloyd worried. He sits on a chair thinking, now that Anya has passed the entrance exam, next is the school interview, so I need a lady who can pretend to be her mum. Up next, at the city hall, some ladies talk about their families and boyfriends. Then, they ask one of them, named Yor, about her boyfriend, but she couldn't respond because she doesn't have one. They say she looks too beautiful to be single and needs to get a boyfriend, but she feels she only needs her job, not a boyfriend. They scare her that a lady was suspected as a spy and arrested because she has no family or boyfriend. Then, they invite her to a party, telling her to come with a boyfriend, and with that, they leave. In Yor's house, her brother calls her on phone to ask how she is doing, and she says she's fine. Then he asks if she now has a boyfriend, informing her that he might be promoted soon and will be traveling more, so he's worried leaving her by herself. Yor thanks him. He suggests introducing her to a guy, but Yor says, "No, I have a boyfriend now and we'll attend a party together soon." When she mentions her friends will host the party, her brother happily says he will ask his friend, who will also attend the party, about her boyfriend. He also promises to hold on the promotion until he's sure she's with a good man. As the call ends, Yor feels she needs to get a boyfriend now. Her phone rings again. Thinking it's her brother, she decides to tell him the truth, but the one on phone now is her secret employer. He asks her to go to a hotel, telling her the room number. In no time, she gets there and meets some guards who try to stop her from entering. Then she says, "I have come to get rid of a traitor." She kills some of the guards with her weapon. Then she meets the minister who's her target. She breaks the bulbs, and later we see she killed all the men in the room. It's revealed that she's been working as an assassin for her employer since her young age. Right after, she tries to wash off the stain on her dress, but it's not clean. She says it's the only nice dress she can wear to the party. Remembering she hasn't gotten a boyfriend makes her feel worried. Next, informant brings the record of single ladies for Lloyd, saying you can't get a lady who will marry you with a kid in 48 hours. Anya asks if he's not getting a lady because of her. Dad pats her saying, "Don't worry, go watch your show." Informant suggests he gets a lady spy to pretend as his wife, but he says he can't get any. Anya watches her favorite spy show while Lloyd tells informant they don't have enough spies at work, so he has to do extra work. While he checks the records, informant calls his attention to Anya's look, saying she doesn't look like a rich kid. He agrees and they visit a tailor's shop. The tailor takes her away to get her measurements to make her new clothes. Then, he observes the tailor is married. Anya almost falls while taking her measurements. Lloyd, on the other hand, feels it might be difficult to get the right lady. Just then, Yor enters. She comes to fix her dress. Lloyd wonders who she is to come in so silently. Then, he remembers he's seen her face in Lady's records, which shows her parents are dead. While he tries to look at her face, Yor asks why he's looking at her. He says, "Because you're beautiful." Curious, she moves closer to him and asks if he likes her, and he says, "Yes." Same time, Anya appears and calls him dad. She feels disappointed, thinking he has a child and a wife already. This thought annoys her, but she says, "I need to calm down. People might know I'm an assassin." Anya, hearing her thoughts, is shocked to know she's an assassin. Well, she feels it's cool to have a spy dad and an assassin mum. Then she sings, "I have no mummy. I feel so lonely." That makes Yor ask Lloyd, "What about her mum?" He replies, "She died 2 years ago, so I raised her alone." Yor's surprised he has no wife then. She asks him, "Can you act as my boyfriend? I lied to my brother I have a boyfriend." She adds, "If you don't mind, can you come with me to a party? I will do anything to help you in return." Lloyd agrees to go with her to the party. In return, he asks her to pretend as Anya's mum during the school interview, lying that his late wife wants Anya to go to the best school. Yor feels he's a wonderful man trying to keep his late wife's wish. She agrees to help, and they decide to meet again on the party day. Later, in a mall, Anya says, "Dad, buy me peanuts," which he did. He pays the storekeeper, another informant, who gives him a coin in exchange. At home he opens the coin, which contains his new task to get back the valuable items stolen from the West the same day of the party. Next, Lloyd and his informant are ready for this task, and he tells him they have to be fast so he can go to the party. His informant says he's prepared a van for the task. Meanwhile, Yor waits for him at the park, almost running late for the party. She hopes he's fine. There are gunshots as Lloyd and his informant get back the item. Their opponents are more than they expected, and more of them keep showing up, so they had to escape in the van. Luckily, they got the items, and Lloyd picks a diamond ring in it. Informant says it looks expensive and tries to get it back from him. While at it, they had an accident. Still waiting, Yor feels Lloyd lied to her that he will come. She decides to go to the party alone. Getting there, they are surprised to see her alone, though she brings a gift for them, explaining that her boyfriend had an emergency, but they didn't believe her. She sits alone. Then, her brother's friend walks up to her and says, "I'm disappointed your boyfriend didn't come. What will I tell your brother?" Yor asks him to lie to him, that she comes with a kind gentleman. Her friend overhears and says, "No, we won't lie to your brother. I will tell him you come alone." Annoyed, Yor thinks of killing everyone so no one will tell his brother about it. Then, they leave her. She sits alone, watching people have fun with their family. She feels her brother wants her to marry so she can have a family too and be happy. Her friends insult her for coming alone. Then she decides to go. While she tells them, "I'm leaving," Lloyd opens the door with blood stain on his face. He apologizes for being late and says, "I am Yor's husband." Her brother's friend asks, "What's wrong with your face?" He says it's blood stain from one of his patients who injured himself. Yor gives him a cloth to clean it. Her friend is surprised she has a husband. Lloyd says she feels embarrassed he has a kid. That's why she didn't tell them. Jealous, she tries to pour hot food on Lloyd, but Yor manages to hold the food with her leg, and a bit of the hot food falls on her face. Pained, she cleans it and moves closer, saying, "Mr. Lloyd, do you know your wife massages men at hotels before she starts working at City Hall? She also calls her a prostitute." Yor tries to tell Lloyd it's not true, but he says he didn't mind, since she did all of that so she could take care of her brother. Yor is touched to hear him say that, and her friend feels disappointed. Now, in the car, Lloyd apologizes for saying he's her husband and worries her brother will be shocked if he hears she's married. Just then, a car hits their van. Realizing it's the men from the stolen, he wonders how they found him. Maybe they left a tracking device in the items he got from them. Yor asks him who they are, and he says, "My psychiatric patients." Yor believes him, and he drives away from them. Later, they find his parked van, so they split up to find him. From where he hides, he hits one with a rod and keeps running. Yor asks if it's right for him to hit his patient like that, and he says, "Yes, it will help their brain heal fast." He wonders if she believes. One of the men almost stabs Lloyd, but Yor saves Lloyd by kicking him, which sends him rolling away. Lloyd is shocked to see that. After he thanks her and says her self-defense is impressive. Again, they shoot at them. They keep running, and while escaping for their lives, Yor says to Lloyd, "Will you marry me?" He falls and asks her to say it again, nervous. She says people suspect her as a spy for being single, so they can fake their marriage to help her avoid their talks, and their marriage will not just be because of the interview. Lloyd couldn't believe, but seeing that she meant it, he agrees to marry her. He tries to bring out the ring he's got from his pocket, but he can't find it. The men appear, and they run off. He removes a ring-like item on a bottle and puts it on Yor's finger. In between the gunshots and smoke, they exchange their marriage vows. A van drops Yor and her belongings in front of Lloyd's house. Lloyd opens the door, walks up to her, asking if that's all her belongings. She answers yes. Then they take the boxes inside. Now on Lloyd, Yor and Anya will live as a family. so they can prepare for the school interview. But before that, Anya shows Yor the kitchen, and stands on a stool and tells Yor she can wash her face by herself. She also takes her to her room, and shows Yor her baby doll. Also she takes her to Lloyd's room, but she doesn't. Over here is Mum's room. She opens the room, and when Lloyd enters he says he cleaned the furniture before she came. Anya says she helped out too. Meanwhile, was cleaning the room. All Anya did was pour water on the floor. Lloyd tells Yor to feel at home. Leaving, he says he will come for the boxes when she is done unpacking. Surprisingly, in a minute, she finishes. Lloyd returns to her room and sees her brother's picture. He says they look alike and suggests they meet him after Anya's interview. Then Yor tries to unpack the last box. Yor stops her, because it contains her assassination weapons. Afterwards, the family prepare dinner together and Lloyd makes some cookies. It's his first time making them. Yor tastes some and praises him as a great cook. So Anya says, I also helped with the cookies. Indeed, she helped, but her dad says she only made a mess of the kitchen and ate peanuts. Later, Lloyd tells them that the school will judge how they look and act at the interview. He starts asking them practice questions. He asks Anya what she does when not in class. She answers, Dad makes me watch telly all by myself. When he asks Yor questions too, her answers aren't impressive. Lloyd feels disappointed and doubts they can pass the interview. He says, let's give up, but Yor reminds him of his late fun like rich families do, so they can get along. Outside, Anya is happy and tells Yor to hold her hand as she holds her. Lloyd feels they are becoming closer, while Yor remembers how she held her brother when he was small. Anya feels she's holding her too tight. She removes her hand and goes hiding. Yor asks Lloyd where they are going. Music concert. Lloyd feels it will help them feel relaxed. Meanwhile, his daughter dozes off already, while Yor watches with all concentration. Next they see some artworks. Anya shows her dad the artworks she likes. Yor, on the other hand, stares at an artwork. She admires it so much. After, Anya says she wants to draw and runs toward the drawing board. She draws a house and also draws Lloyd as a spy, Yor as an assassin. When Lloyd returns, Anya becomes nervous, thinking if he sees her drawing, he might know she can read minds. She quickly covers it, but Lloyd feels she draws from the cartoon show she used to watch on television. With that, she feels relieved. Moments later, they visit the tailor's shop, and Anya shows off the dress the tailor made for her. It's her first time going out in a nice dress. The tailor shows Yor a blue material for her dress and asks if she likes it. She says she would prefer her dresses to be black or red. She feels the blue material will show bloodstains if she wears it for an assassin job. When they leave, the tailor is happy Yor finally finds a lover. On their way, Yor thanks Lloyd for getting her clothes. He says they will get more dresses next time, and then they will tell the tailor they are married. At the photo studio, they take a family picture. Next, they go to listen to political talks because Anya's school wants their applicants to know about politics. Anya feels bored and begins to doze. Lloyd carries her, and they leave. She sleeps off. Next they eat in a fancy restaurant. Anya uses her hand to eat, while Yor stares at the knife. Lloyd feels frustrated because they are giving him a hard time fitting in the family he needed for his task. He concludes in his mind to make them memorize answers to every possible question that will be asked during the interview. Seeing his reaction, Yor assumes he's bored, so she suggests they go get some fresh air outside. While out, they enjoy the view. They also see a park, which Yor says she comes to anytime she gets bored at work. When she sees the people her work is helping, it gives her energy to keep working. Her words touch Lloyd, and he stares at the people walking down the street. Just then, a young man appears and steals the purse of an old lady. Yor jumps down from the corridor and runs after him, but she can't find him. She returns to the old lady and asks if she's okay. Yor promises to catch the thief. Meanwhile, Lloyd is also searching for him. Sadly, he couldn't find him either. Anya stares at the crowd, trying to figure out the thief. Strangely, her nose bleeds. Lloyd cleans it for her. Then she hears the thief's thoughts. She points in his direction and lies to her dad she wants cake. Lloyd sees the thief though he changed clothes. Lloyd still identifies him. When Yor returns to them, Lloyd goes after the thief and jumps on him. He falls to the ground while Lloyd stands up. He picks up the purse and tells people watching to call the police. Right after, they return the purse to the old lady, and she appreciates Yor. Yor tells her to thank her husband instead. The old lady says he's a good man, which makes Lloyd recall his boss used to say they don't need to be appreciated for doing good, but now he feels it's not bad. He says thanks to Yor. Now I regain my energy to get back to work. They stare at each other for a while. Then Anya says, Dad and Mum love each other. The old lady smiles and says, you make a lovely family. They are surprised. She also gives Anya some sweets. At night they return home. Yor enjoys their outing, and when Anya asks her for hot coffee she says, I will prepare it right now. Inside, Lloyd tells Anya to come. He asks her again what she does when not in class. She answers, I go out to have fun with my family. Lloyd is impressed. He asks, what will you do if your friend does something wrong? She replies, I will jump jump on him and beat him up. Lloyd feels disappointed with her answers and refuses to play with Anya. Yor walks in and serves them coffee. Anya and Yor sit to drink the coffee. As Yor watches Anya drink, Lloyd remembers the old lady's words that they make a lovely family. He feels calm and says to himself, I think we are improving. The day of the interview finally comes, and Lloyd's family are all dressed. Anya promises to do her best, and since they have done a lot of practice before the day, they feel ready and head to the school. At the school, many parents walk toward the hall with their kids. Lloyd asks Anya if she will be okay, and she says yes. Lloyd and his family walk in with the other families, and Lloyd feels they are being watched. He sees teachers on top of the buildings evaluating the families as they walk in to see if they are a good fit for the school. Feeling that the interview has already started, he instructs Yor and Anya to walk gently as they practiced. Inside, the staff score each family. One housemaster appears, saying most of the families lack manners, and he instructs teachers to pass only families with proper manners. He watches through his lens and notices Lloyd's family paying respect to the statue of the school founder. The housemaster is impressed by their manners and asks who they are. They tell him they are Lloyd's family, and that their daughter barely passed the written test. He is not impressed when he hears that. The families line up and are asked to enter different halls based on their score, and Lloyd's family are directed to the main hall. Lloyd tells Yor and Anya they are still being watched, so they should be careful. Just then, they see a schoolboy inside a drain, calling for help, but no one stops. Lloyd taps Anya, and she understands. She says, Dad, Mum, let's help this boy. They move close to him, and he splashes dirty water at them. Lloyd pulls the boy out, and their clothes become dirty. The housemaster says they fail because he cannot allow them into the hall with dirty clothes, and he instructs teachers to send them away. Meanwhile, Lloyd's family have already changed. The housemaster wonders how they knew something like that would happen, and he is impressed. A teacher reminds him they should evaluate the children, not the parents, but he replies that good parents make good children. Lloyd's family continue toward the hall with the others. Suddenly, animals escape from the school farm and charge at the crowd, and everyone runs. Lloyd carries Anya and thinks the school is testing them again, so he tells his family not to harm the animals. But the school did not plan it. The housemaster instructs teachers to stop the animals before anyone is hurt. A boy falls, and an animal almost hits him, but Lloyd saves him. Anya feels unwell, and Lloyd thinks the panic of the crowd affects her. Animals run toward them, and Lloyd thinks of using the gun in his bag, but Yor strikes the animal leader, tearing her clothes, and the cow falls. Lloyd and Anya are amazed. The animals back away, and Anya pats the cow lying on the ground. She says, Don't be scared, it's all fine now. Lloyd lifts her, and the cow stands and leaves with the others without hurting anyone. The housemaster runs out to meet them. Lloyd guesses he is a housemaster. He thanks them for saving the situation and says the interviews will be delayed until things are under control, and they may stay even though their clothes are dirty. Lloyd thanks him again, and they change clothes, which surprises the housemaster. At last, the family make it to the interview room. The previous family leave in tears, and Lloyd feels nervous for the first time. They are called in and meet the housemasters. Lloyd greets them, and they sit. Housemaster 1 is gentle and sincere, and students like him. He begins by asking Lloyd how he met his wife. Lloyd says, We met at a tailor's shop. I was attracted by her beauty, and when we became close, I saw that she has a kind spirit and would be a wonderful mother to my daughter. Yor says she chose Lloyd because he is kind and treats children well. Housemaster 2, arrogant and greedy, asks why Yor chose a man who already has a child. His own wife divorced him and won custody of their daughter, but they ignore his tone. Housemaster 1 asks why they chose the school. Lloyd says it has the best teachers and facilities, so his daughter can receive the best education. Housemaster 3 praises the answer. They ask Anya's strengths and weaknesses. Lloyd says she is clever and quick to understand, but picky with food. Yor says she spoiled Anya at first, but later, thinking of her future, she became stricter. Asked what Yor cooks for a picky eater, she cannot answer, and Lloyd says he cooks when he can, while Yor helps when he is busy. Housemaster 2 says this is nothing special and Lloyd is annoyed, but Yor calms him. He wonders why he is annoyed when Yor is not even his real wife. Housemaster 1 turns to Anya. She recites their home address correctly. Asked how she spends time. She says she visits museums and eats at restaurants. Asked what she would do at the school. She listens to her father's thoughts and says she wants to learn the secrets of great leaders. Lloyd explains her words. Housemaster 3 asks for the headmaster's name. Lloyd thinks it. Anya hears and answers. She answers other questions. Well, asked about her father's job, she almost says spy, but says psychiatrist. Asked about her new mum, she says she is nice but sometimes scary. Asked to score her parents, she gives them a perfect score. Housemaster 2 asks her to compare her old mum and new mum. Lloyd asks to skip the question, but he refuses. Anya cries. Housemaster 2 says this shows she prefers her old mum. Yor comforts her. He says they will not admit children who cry over small things. Lloyd and Yor struggle to stay calm. Housemaster 2 keeps provoking. Lloyd slams the table, saying he saw a mosquito, and then says he will not enroll his child in a school that ignores her feelings. He leaves with his family. The man shouts after them. Housemaster 3 says the questions were harsh, and Housemaster 2 retorts, so Housemaster 3 punches him. At home the family feel they failed. Lloyd blames himself. Anya apologizes and worries about the mission. Yor brings coffee. Anya says Housemasters 1 and 3 will help them, and Yor agrees. Lloyd has never relied on others, but this time, he decides to trust them. He says, let's celebrate our effort, and they raise their cups to their future. Their family picture falls, and they wonder what will happen next. Finally, it is the day for the school to announce the interview results. Lloyd and Yor are on their way to the school. Surprisingly, Yor's bracelet breaks. Again, she sees a black cat and feels it is a bad sign. Lloyd tells her it is nothing, and then the worst happens. Anya steps on poop, which makes her parents laugh. At the Westalis agency, they are also aware the school results will be out that day, and the new agent is worried that Lloyd might fail. Chief tells her not to worry and boasts that Lloyd will handle the task perfectly. Lloyd's family, when they see the results, are shocked. Unbelievably, they failed the interview. They feel sad, especially Anya. Lloyd pats her and she says, we fail because I stepped on poop. Then Housemaster 3 calls them. In a room, Lloyd holds a waiting list of school applicants. Anya's name comes first, which means if any child that passed withdraws, Anya can be enrolled. Lloyd doesn't expect such after what happened at the interview. He says, it is not bad since he broke the table while trying to kill a mosquito. He says his family deserves to attend the school. Yor wonders how they will get a child to withdraw his admission for Anya to be enrolled. Just then, Yor appears in a man's office. His son passed the school interview. She wants to kill him so his son will drop out and Anya will be enrolled. However, that was only her imagination. She says, no, I can't kill innocent people. Housemaster 3 informs them that some students withdraw every year, so Anya stands a chance. He adds, I might be sacked soon because I punched Housemaster 2, and I am not sure what his dad will do to retaliate. However, you should await the school call soon. 3 days later, Anya dances, saying, I will be enrolled soon. Just then, the phone rings and Lloyd rushes to pick it up. Yor gets hold of Anya, who almost falls. After the call, Lloyd pops a party popper and announces that Anya got into the school. She jumps happily. Lloyd carries her up, saying, you did well. Yor too is happy. Informant appears. He heard Anya got into the school and comes with wine to celebrate. He enters and introduces himself to Yor as Lloyd's old friend, and she greets him. After they eat and drink together. Then, Informant tells Anya to ask Lloyd for anything she wants, and he will buy it. She replies, no, I don't want anything. I want you to do something. Lloyd promises to grant her if it is within his ability. In a cartoon show, a bondman is given a task to rescue a princess who was kidnapped. Bondman kills all the enemies on his way and saves the little princess from the castle. Anya points at the show and says, I want to be rescued from a castle too. Lloyd says no, and she begins to cry. Informant pats her, saying the castle in the show has been remodeled into a park, and they can have a reality show there. He assures Lloyd they will be safe there. Lloyd says, okay, fine, let's do it. Then, Informant promises he will go make reservations for them at the park. Anya is happy. Westalis agency gets a message from Lloyd that he needs some spies and a plane for his task, and they start working on it immediately. While Lloyd tells them where they will meet, Informant prepares the reality show with Anya and Yor. After, they get ready to fly a plane to the park. Anya turns around for her dad, and he says she looks good. Yor asks Lloyd where he got the plane from. He lies that his colleagues borrowed it to him for free. Now in the plane, Lloyd asks if they are ready, and they all answer, yes. The plane moves and then flies up. As the plane flies in the sky, Yor and Anya look down through the window. Happy, she says, Dad's so cool. After some minutes of flying, they land in front of a castle, and in no time, they are in, with Anya running around the hall. Informant appears, and Anya says the castle has no enemies in it like the show. Informant tells Lloyd to do something, and he calls his agency to ask for spies to come to the castle. In no time, they all arrive at the castle, eating and drinking. Informant is impressed and asks Lloyd to explain the game for them. He says, thank you, everyone, for coming because of my daughter. They listen to him, even though he looks nervous. He says all of them will play the role of his enemies, and that is part of his task, so they shouldn't question him. Informant introduces Anya as the princess to be saved, and Lloyd as the spy to rescue her, while Informant acts as the one who kidnaps the princess. However, Yor's role isn't revealed. As the chief enemy, Informant asks his spies to do their best to stop Lloyd. They feel good about their role. Informant asks them to make it hard for Lloyd to save the princess. The reality show begins, and Informant takes Anya away. Lloyd goes after them, and he has to overcome many hurdles to save Princess Anya. But first, Informant tells Anya wants him to answer some questions, and if he fails, he will have to wear the bondman costume. He got the first question wrong when he says Anya likes bondman's face instead of his gun. They ask him what food Anya likes, and he says peanut. The last question they ask him to say what Anya wants right now, but he couldn't answer in time. After much thought, he says, Bondman spy gear. Anya says, no, you are wrong. I am thirsty and want some water now. They say he fails since he got 2 wrong out of 3, so he has to wear Bondman glasses. When he does, Anya's so excited. He begins the adventure, and his enemies are ready to stop him. To save Princess Anya, he has to get to the tower. His enemies try to attack him, but he skillfully dodges them and runs through the hurdles. From where she watches, Anya says, you are so cool, Lloydman. Lloyd sees the tower has been moved up and his enemies are attacking again with a toy gun. He hides and later shows up with a toy gun, shooting at them too. When Informant encourages the spies to keep shooting, he shoots him on his cheek so he can be quiet. He moves the tower up and Lloyd runs towards them. Flying while holding a rope, they attack him with fire, but he escapes. He manages to get into the tower, and Informant praises his skills unexpectedly. More enemies appear. However, Lloyd feels embarrassed that he has to fight his co-spies in a play. He feels he's doing this because of his task. Informant tells him he won't let go of Princess Anya so easily. Just then, Yor appears as a powerful witch to fight him. As she kicks him, Lloyd is injured on his left cheek. Yor says, I won't let you take her away, and she fights him again. However, Lloyd didn't return the attacks. He just dodges with his hands. When he thinks she's going to kill him, she falls to the ground and faints. Lloyd feels worried. Informant appears with his long and sharp claws to stop him, but he makes him fall so easily. He moves close to Anya, saying, I've come to save you, princess. Anya hugs him afterwards. They watch the sparklies in the sky, and other spies congratulate Anya. While Anya and her dad sit together, she promises at the tailor's shop. Anya gets measured for her school uniform. Anya says she has grown taller, so Lloyd suggests she make her uniform a little bigger. Tailor is happy. Yor is married now. She asks if Lloyd also attended Anya's school when young because kids of alumni bully kids whose parents are not. Hearing that makes Anya scared. She says some students were kidnapped. Anya says, I don't want to go school again, but she tells her not to be scared. She promises to get her uniform and other materials ready. Very soon Anya holds Lloyd's leg as they leave, saying she's watching for kidnappers. Ignoring her, Lloyd says, let's eat at a restaurant. At the restaurant, Lloyd gets a message from the agency telling him to come to office in 5 days. 5 days later, Taylor calls that Anya's uniform is ready. She rolls on the floor with joy. When he hangs up the call, he gives Yor money to go get the uniform for Anya, saying he needs to go to work. Anya gives him his hat and says bye as he leaves. Lloyd is seen entering a photo booth. He inserts a coin into secret lock. It activates and takes him to Westalis Agency's hidden underground base. He appears in the Westalis Agency office and agency admin welcomes him after. She yells that he spends too much on the reality show. In response, he hands her the school bills. She takes the bills and explains his next task, saying he needs to know how the school operates. The school awards the title of scholar to students who perform excellently. His target, Desmond, first son, is a scholar, so he only befriends scholars' parents. To be a scholar, a student must earn 8 Stella stars. Admin orders Lloyd to ensure Anya becomes a scholar. If she misbehaves or gets poor grades, she'll get a tonatress, 8 of which mean expulsion. With this, Lloyd becomes worried again. Meanwhile, Anya wears her uniform in the tailor's shop. Mum says she looks cute. She blushes as the tailor watches the excited mother and daughter leave. Anya still wears her uniform. Yor suggests they visit a park. At the park, Anya shows off her uniform. A woman tells Yor she wishes her kids went to Anya's school too. Yor watches as her kids say, Mum, we want cutlets for dinner then. Yor thinks, even if we are pretend family, I still want to be a good mum to Anya. Anya comes and says, Mum, I've shown everyone how cute I am. Yor suggests they go to the supermarket to get things to make dinner. Unknown to them, some kidnappers are watching them. Seeing her expensive uniform, they plan to kidnap her. In the supermarket, Anya is behind Yor as she shops while paying. Anya runs out not knowing kidnappers are by the door. They cover her mouth and ask her to be quiet. She remembers what Taylor says as they take her away. Unexpectedly, Yor appears, punching one of them while lying on the ground. He says Yor must pay for his hospital bills. She replies, I don't have money. One tries to hit her with a pumpkin, but she smashes it using her assassin power. She shouts, I'll smash your head like that pumpkin if you don't leave. They run away. Anya's proud of her mum. She hugs her and cries, saying, I'm sorry, I left you by yourself. Anya pats her, saying, I love my strong mum. Then she says, Mum, train me how to punch like you, so I can be able to defend myself in school. Yor thinks about it for a while, then she says, fine, I will train you when we get home. That night, when Lloyd returns home, he sees them training, and it worries him. The next morning at school welcome party, headmaster gives a welcome speech to new students and their parents. Everyone claps for him except Lloyd, who is worried they still have more to do as he remembers admin's words to ensure Anya becomes a scholar in order to get close to Desmond. Then, the headmaster calls out the students' names for each class and their teachers to step forward. A teacher directs the students to line up. Anya wonders what her class is, but Lloyd already knew. He arranged to put Anya and Ostania's second son, Damien, in same class, so they can become close friends begins as students line up. Damien's name is called, and he smiles as he proudly walks down to the line. If he becomes close friend with Anya, Lloyd thinks he might invite her to his house someday, and with that, he can still meet Desmond if she fails to become a scholar. Anya hears everything. Then her name is called, and she marches to the line. When she gets close, she stares at Desmond, and he thinks she likes her. Anya hears him, and annoyingly walks to her line there. A girl says hi to Anya. Lloyd's surprised because she's a military daughter. Almost all classmates are from political families. Lloyd looking aggressive, as he thinks makes your smiles. The girl says I'm Becky, thinking she could boss Anya around, but Anya reads her mind and ignores her. Lloyd and Yor are happy when Housemaster is announced as Anya's class teacher. For hitting rude interviewer, he's demoted to take younger students. Parents clap as their kids march to see the school environment. Anya looks back to salute her dad. Housemaster says, stay in line. Lloyd looks nervous, but Yor tries to calm him. They are shown the school dining hall and door to Scholar's private dining hall. Class teacher says they should also aspire to become a scholar. Damien says who his dad is, and his classmates are impressed except Anya and Becky. He walks up to them and asks Anya what her parents do. She replies my dad is a doctor, and he says he's a nobody. Anya then says I want to go play at your house. His friend pushes her away. Then she remembers mom says, don't hit anyone who hurts you. Instead, just smile. Smile is your greatest weapon. Her friend tells her to say something surprisingly. She fakes a smile, making Damien think she's making fun of him. Becky feels she's cool and not a baby like she thought. Anya blushes and smiles again. Damien looks angry and calls her ugly. Becky says, don't call her that. Anya thinks smiling didn't help. As they move, they throw a paper ball at Anya. Becky says she will report them to class teacher. They push her away, saying she has no proof, and he promises to bully Anya so hard until she stops smiling at him. When Anya can't take it anymore, she punches his cheeks. He falls to the ground and cries. Class teacher runs towards them, and Anya lies that she just stretched her hand and he falls. His friend says she lied. Class teacher becomes angry. Becky says it's Damien who bullied her first. He asks Anya if she hits him in return. Then she remembers mom says she can only hit someone while protecting a friend. She says I hit him because he stepped on my friend's foot. Becky feels touched and hugs her. Class teacher also feels she did well. Parents of new students enjoy drinking at the welcome party. Students return and class teacher asks to see Lloyd. When he tells him Anya hits Damien, he's shocked. He says she was supposed to get 3 tonometers for it, but he's kind to give her 1. Yor regrets training her. Lloyd feels Anya becoming friends with Damien looks impossible. Now, after parents and their kids take a group photo. Next morning, while Lloyd cooks in the kitchen, he thinks he will meet Desmond soon, now that Anya is enrolled in the school, but he needs to make sure Anya wins 8 Stella stars to be a scholar. As he fries the eggs, he thinks it might not be so easy. His plan to make Anya become friends with Damien already seems impossible, since Anya punched him. However, he encourages himself not to give up. Yor walks out of her room, and her husband is already serving their breakfast. Anya hides behind the door, looking sad. Lloyd asks her to come eat. Anya says, I'm sorry I punched that boy. Lloyd says it's fine, but not to fight anyone in school again. Yor comments, you're so kind, Lloyd. Meanwhile, he feels he must be kind so Anya won't quit school. Next, the bus picks up Anya. Dad tells her to say sorry to Damien. The bus leaves, and Yor waves goodbye. Lloyd hopes Anya apologizes to him. She arrives at school and walks towards her class. When she turns back, she sees Becky coming down from a car and waits for her, so they can walk to class together. As they walk in with other kids, they see Damien and his friends. They try to start a fight again, but Anya decides to say sorry. She gets close and almost apologizes, but Becky drags her along, saying class will start soon. Lloyd watches from a rooftop, and he's angry her friend drags her away. He decides he will make Anya apologize that day and no later. While in class, other students say Anya was wrong to punch Damien. Hearing this, Anya feels bad and thinks school is scary. Becky looks angry, then tells Anya she will always be her best friend. Listening to her calms Anya. Meanwhile, Damien and his friends plan how to punish her for hitting him. While the teacher teaches, Damien isn't listening. He thinks of how to punish Anya for being the first to ever hit him. Anya hears his thoughts and turns back, but he looks away. Then they have their math class, but dozes off, drooling, which surprises the teacher when he leaves. Becky wakes her. When she's awake, she says, I have to say sorry to Damien, but he left class already. So Anya goes to look for him. Her friend hugs her, saying it's fine not to say sorry, but a cleaner says no. Anya knows he's her dad disguised as a cleaner. While in science class, Anya sees words reflected, telling her to apologize to Damien. She thinks it's from God, but it's not. It's Lloyd again. She feels pressured. Next class, he uses his disguise power to change her book, so she sees a note telling her to apologize. During lunch break, as Anya and her friend walk down to the school cafe, she sees Sori on the school flower. Again, Lloyd disguised as a student walks past with Sori on his back. At the cafe, Anya orders food and when it's served it has sorry on it. Lloyd now pretends to be a chef. Damien and his friends enter, and Anya stands up to apologize, but Becky stops her. Lloyd decides to separate them. Lloyd changes his voice and calls Becky to the school hall while they're eating. When she leaves, Anya walks up to Damien and his friends try to fight her. Damien stops them and he moves close to her. However, he can't say anything, as he feels his heart beating so loudly. Anya decides to say sorry and run. His friends think he's being quiet because he's thinking of names to call her. Anya looks nervous. Reading his friends' thoughts and hearing them call her names hurts her. She cries bitterly saying, "I'm really sorry I hit you. I just want to be your friend." Damien feels touched. While at it, Lloyd, who has been watching, feels impressed. He thinks it's a fantastic apology. Damien's face turns red. He can't deny he likes Anya, no matter how he tries to convince himself that Anya is just a commoner. Suddenly, he becomes frustrated, saying, "I will never forgive you," and runs away. His friends run after him. The tray Lloyd is holding falls from his hand, as he couldn't believe her apology was rejected. He feels his plan B has failed. Anya feels bad about it. Meanwhile, Becky didn't see the one calling her in the school hall at home. Lloyd helps Anya with her schoolwork. She's tired, but he won't let her stop. Since Damien refuses to be her friend, Lloyd's only option is to make sure Anya becomes a scholar to get close to Desmond. When Lloyd asks her to solve an equation, she tries to read his mind for the answer. But Lloyd is thinking of another plan. She decides to read Yor's mind instead, so she tells her to check the equation for her. Yor thinks of the answer as 5, yet Anya can't write it. She drops her pencil, falls trying to grab it, as using her telepathy power for long drains her. She runs to her room. Lloyd goes after her, but Yor says he's too hard on her. He says he wants her to be a scholar. Yor says you can't force her. I want Anya to enjoy going to school. In her room, she listens to Mum talking. Lloyd feels Yor is right. She's just a little girl. He thanks her, saying children can be difficult sometimes. After, Lloyd calls Anya to come have hot coffee, but she refuses to come out. They sit down. Yor says, "Anya is just like my brother when he was a kid." Lloyd asks, "Did you help him with his schoolwork too?" She answers, "No, he did it himself, because he's so intelligent. Even when they studied together, he taught her many things, and she always praised him, which made him smile." Lloyd asks if her brother liked studying because she praised him. Yor replies, "I'm not sure, but you should try the same for Anya, by praising her efforts, no matter how small." At first, Lloyd feels he doesn't have to, since he's not her real dad, but then he thinks he must act like a good dad for his mission. Yor reminds him of what Anya said at the interview, that he's a wonderful dad. Lloyd feels calm and thanks Yor for being a good mum to Anya too. He asks her to also help Anya with her studies, and she agrees, saying, "But we have to be patient with her." Lloyd remembers his boss also told him not to rush things, but to get close to his target to gain his trust. He feels he needs to understand Anya first. He stands up and says, "I need to talk with Anya." He knocks on her room door, but when she doesn't answer, he opens the door. Anya fell asleep while studying on her own. She slept talks, saying, "I have to get good grades for Dad." He carries her and puts her on the bed. Then she slept talks again, saying, "Mum, don't kill Dad." Lloyd wonders what she's dreaming. Next morning, at school, Anya's class is having maths. Teacher calls her to answer a question. She stands up confidently and answers, but the teacher says she's wrong. She feels embarrassed. Admin meets with Lloyd and asks if Anya is doing well in her studies, as they expect her to be a scholar soon. She also informs him that their informant in City Hall has been caught, so he should be careful. In the City Hall, state security police come to arrest the chief finance on suspicion of being a spy. He's taken away while the staff watch. Later, Yor's friends say he was arrested for sharing office secrets. While talking, one of them walks in and tells Yor her brother knows she's married. His friend at the party told him. Yor forgot to tell him, and it's been a year. She says he'll call soon. Then she remembers she never gave him her new number. She shows them the picture they took together, and they admire him. At the state security office, an officer questions Chief Finance who he works for. He replies, "Just let me go home, please." Officer presses the cigarette he smoked on his hand, but he still won't talk. Another officer takes over the questioning. Turns out it's Yor's brother, and he's now a security police. Other officers complain he's too young to join their team, but their boss adores him so much. He sits and says, "My sister works at City Hall, but I haven't seen her in a while. I will see her again tonight, so I need quick answers. Now, tell me everything you know." He shouts, "I don't know anything." He shows him a photo of him handling files to someone. He's shocked. Then Chief Finance admits, "I sold the files for money to a Westaless man. He doesn't know his name." Yor's brother tries to help him identify him. He asks, "Have you heard the name Twilight before?" He says no. He reveals he's a Westaless spy who wants to trouble our country. Chief Finance asks, "Will you free me if I help you catch the spy? I don't mean any harm. I just did that to make more money to have fun." Then, Yor's brother says, "I haven't told my sister I work for state security, cause I don't want to worry her." He presses his head on the table, saying he's a traitor to their country and won't let him go unpunished. astonished. Anya's favorite show is airing, and she watches with full focus. Lloyd wishes he can get her to focus on studying like that. She says Bondman has 2/8 of his bullets left, and she's right. Lloyd thinks he can teach her using cartoon references. Yor comes home looking worried. She says her brother is visiting that night, and she's afraid he'll find out their marriage is fake. Lloyd tells her not to worry, as he prepares pictures and beddings to show their marriage is real. They await his visit. However, Anya is already dozing off. Dad says, go to bed. She says, no, I want to see Uncle. But she falls asleep. Yor's brother walks down to their house with a big flower. He thinks she didn't tell him. She's married because her husband is a bad person. As he enters, he thinks, I will arrest him if he troubles my sister. Lloyd is worried. He doesn't want to lose Yor and Anya. Then he presses the doorbell, and the door is open. He smiles, introducing himself as Yuri, and they welcome him. Lloyd shakes his hand, and the two stare at each other, wondering if they will get along. Then, Lloyd proposes to make them food, but he says no. Yuri thinks he's only pretending to be nice. Yor tells him to come sit while she collects the flowers. Then he says, but I'm yet to agree to your marriage. Why didn't you tell me about it all this while? Before he arrives, Lloyd told Yor to say she didn't tell him because single ladies are seen as suspicious and could be arrested as spies. Yor says, no, he's very sensitive, and if I tell him that, he will feel worried and I don't want him to. She assures Lloyd she has a good excuse. Now, when her brother asks, she just says, I completely forgot to tell you. Her brother says, but when I called you that day, you should have told me. She replies, well, I said I forgot. Surprisingly, Yuri believes and smiles, saying okay, it must be true. Lloyd serves him food. When he tastes the food, he eats more but thinks, I won't like you just because you give me food. After, he gives him a bottle of wine. He then asks, where did you two first meet? Lloyd replies, at a tailor's shop. I was attracted to her beauty. After we had a lot of dates. He asks, what do you eat and the restaurant's name, and what made you marry her? Wait, what do you call her? He says. Yor, shocked. So Yor calls you Lloyd too. He becomes angry, pouring himself more wine. Yor says, what's wrong in calling him Lloyd? Then Lloyd gets him a cup of water. He wonders why his sister likes Lloyd. Is it because he can cook or tall? He feels jealous. Drinking more wine, Lloyd changes topic, saying, I like your job. Then Yor says, your friend told me you traveled to a city. He answers, yes, it's a work trip. The city I traveled to is beautiful, and I wish we went together. Lloyd says, I've been there before when I was still a medical student. A chef at a restaurant there makes nice stew. He asks if he bought the wine from there. He says, yes. Lloyd asks, how much? He says, it's cheap. Lloyd thanks him for sharing. Meanwhile, it's all just to fool his sister, so she won't know he changed jobs. Lloyd knows he's lying. Wine isn't cheap in the city, and he already found out a lot about him. He knew he had been working with the state security for about a year. He thinks, if we get along, I might get secret information from him. When Yor says, do you see Lloyd as brother now? He beats the table, saying, I won't accept him as my brother because I love my sister so much. When our parents died, she was there for me and would always come late from her job in Bloodstain, which worries me. But she told him not to worry and bought me books and snacks. She worked so hard for me, and because of that I decided to be successful. But now she completely forgot me because of you. Truly, I want her to marry someone who can protect her. In a serious tone, he asks, can you protect my sister, Lloyd? Lloyd gets nervous and says, I love her as much as you do. Yor is surprised to hear that. He says, I will make sure nothing harms her. Yuri is impressed, and wonders if he really meant what he says. He says, you are a liar. Water pours on the table. Yor tries to clean it. Lloyd wants to help her. When their hands touch, they feel shy. Seeing that, he doubts them and asks them to prove their marriage. Lloyd says, I can show you our marriage certificate. He says no, kiss each other, and if you don't, I will make sure your marriage certificate is cancelled. Lloyd quickly thinks of what to do. Then he says, okay, we'll do it. That shocks Yor. She looks confused as Lloyd bends his head to kiss her. She recalls she once read that a first kiss tastes like lemon. She tells Lloyd to wait, then drinks more wine to feel drunk. Lloyd whispers, we don't have to kiss if you don't want to. Her brother insists they kiss. Annoyed, she throws a fork at him saying, can you just shut up? Drunk, she bends over to kiss Lloyd and says, close your eyes, darling. Yor is about to kiss him. Jealous. Her brother remembers when they were young. When he had good grades, Yor kissed him as a reward. Then, he promised to marry her when he grew up. Yor replied, I will wait patiently for you. Back to the present, he shouts, stop, sis. Don't kiss another man in front of me. Yor, embarrassed, says, I can't do it, and slaps Lloyd. But Yuri comes in between and gets slapped instead, which makes Anya feel her room shake. But she just goes back to sleep. He's injured. Looking disappointed, he says, you treat me like this because I stopped you from kissing him. Then he begins to cry, regretting asking them to kiss. Then, he says, Lloyd, my sister's lips are yours now. Yor slaps him again, making Lloyd wonder if they are both normal. Yor asks if he's okay and helps him. She asks if she should get him a taxi. He replies, don't baby me, Yor. Lloyd also supports him. Angrily, he says, you're making fun of me now. Lloyd says, no, just admiring how much you love and protect your sister. But we can protect her together now and make her happy. He replies, I don't want to accept accept you. I'm leaving now. Lloyd says, come again so you can meet our daughter. He answers, I will come only because of my sister and not you. He warns him not to hurt his sister and runs off. As he leaves, Yor shouts, get home safe, dear. Later, Lloyd cleans the table. He feels he should be careful around Yor's brother as he walks towards the kitchen. Yor thanks him for welcoming her brother into their home. Lloyd says, I see he loves you so much, and I feel envious watching you too. Thankfully, he didn't figure out our marriage is fake. Afterwards, they move to Lloyd's room, and he says he will arrange the bed back to normal. Lloyd still thinks about what happened earlier. Then he decides to sleep. Yor's brother asks two men where the station is. Seeing he's injured, they say, go to the hospital instead. Next morning, Anya greets her dad. She goes to the bathroom and meets Yor, who says good morning. She climbs a small table to wash her face. Breakfast is served as Yor and Lloyd talk about her brother. Lloyd thinks it's unbelievable he's part of security service, which shocks Anya. She wonders what the state security does and feels bad she didn't meet him. Lloyd says, come, have breakfast. As they eat, Lloyd starts to wonder if Yor truly doesn't know her brother works for state security. He assumes if she knew, she wouldn't fake a marriage with him. Or maybe she's just pretending so she can get close to him. Hearing his thoughts, Anya says, Dad, Mum is, and pauses. Then says, Mum is a bad cook, which shocks Yor. Next they prepare to go out for work. Lloyd claims to help Yor clean dirt on her collar, not knowing he puts a tracking device on her. She is impressed with the way Lloyd treats her brother nicely, making her feel she's not helping him enough. Anya hears. Outside, when she's about to enter her school bus, she says, Dad and Mum, you have to get along. Lloyd answers, well, we are not fighting. You should get along with your classmates too. She enters, and the bus leaves. At the state security, Yor's brother returns and his boss asks, what happened to your face? Did you fight your sister's husband? He says, not really. He's a nice guy, but he looks like a spy pretending to be nice. His boss asks if he has any proof. Then he remembers he didn't enter their bedroom. He begins to hit his head on the lock. His boss asks him to get over it and focus on his job, as they need to arrest Westala's spies, especially Twilight. He agrees, dressed up in his uniform. Yor at work looks sad, cause she feels she is a bad wife to Lloyd. She asks her friends to tell her how to be a good wife. Meanwhile, Lloyd is listening to their conversation with the tracking device on her, trying to figure out if she's doing anything suspicious that can affect his mission. Then, her boss asks Yor to go post a letter for him, while Lloyd decides to investigate her further. Yor sees a joint account poster on her way and thinks, I should have one with Lloyd using the money I earn as an assassin, but he might be suspicious of me. Just then, some men stop her and take her to a secret place. When they reveal they are from state security, she is shocked. Meanwhile, it's Lloyd and his informant disguised as state security. They say her letter looks like a coded letter to Westalis. She says her boss owns the letter. The informant then accuses her of being a spy with her boss. Nervous, she explains she knows nothing about it. He scares her, saying Chief Finance killed himself after being severely tortured, and a lady of her age was arrested recently. Lloyd says the lady was freed because she has a family in the state security. Hearing that, Yor looks surprised. Meanwhile, Lloyd is trying to figure out if she's aware her brother works with state security. At this point of trouble, she will have no option but to mention his name, but Yor says, I am not a spy. The informant tries to touch her. She attacks him, saying, don't touch me. Lloyd warns her, your family can be in trouble for attacking a police officer. And for that, she prepares to attack them again. Lloyd asks the informant to check the letter again. He then says he decoded the information wrongly. Her boss actually coded the letter because it is personal information to his doctor. Lloyd says, sorry, you can go, but don't tell your boss what happened. As she leaves, the informant assumes she has no family in state security. He, however, advises Lloyd to keep emotions out of his task and not to trust anyone, so he can be safe. Then, Lloyd removes his informant's mask. Yor walks home, scared about nearly getting arrested. Lloyd appears and removes the tracker, calling it dirt. Yor says, I'm sorry, I'm not a good wife to you. Lloyd tells her not to worry too much, as no one is perfect. He advises her to be exactly who she is and keep smiling, so Anya will remain happy. Yor feels touched, saying, I'm grateful I married you. They walk home together. Lloyd throws the tracking device away and suggests they celebrate their first wedding anniversary with a cake. When Anya returns home from school, she is happy to see her dad and mum are getting along. Next morning, in the school compound, Anya's class teacher jogs around the school. Then, he stops in front of the school founder's statue and pledges to him. Afterwards, he dresses up for school. In his office, one of the teachers comes to greet him, and he prepares tea for him. He says, how about your students? I heard you gave one of them a poor mark for punching her classmate. He replies she behaved badly and deserves to be punished. He believes they must ensure students are taught how to behave rightly to keep the school standard. In the same office, leader's son stares at the parents and students group picture, looking sad. His friend friends come and show him the picture of his older brother in the school magazine. They hope he will become a scholar like his brother soon. The school will be having a sport competition soon, and there are rumors that whoever wins will get an award. Leader's son is happy to hear this. While class teacher studies alone, the bell rings. He walks towards the window, thinking how the students will become better. In class, Anya and others are about to fight again, not knowing class teacher is watching. At home, when Anya returns from school, she says, "Dad, I have some news. My friend said we will have a sport competition soon, and best player gets an award." Lloyd assumes it's just a rumor. While Yor offers to train her when she says it's a dodgeball game, she's happy. Yor reveals she played the game with her brother when young. Anya says, "Mum, let's do this," and Lloyd feels it's good. She's happy to do it. Yor starts with strength training. First, Anya does sit-ups while Yor helps with holding her legs. Next, they run, but suddenly, Anya faints. At night, the training continues. Yor trains her how to throw a ball, and her skills surprise Anya. Next morning, Anya feels tired and dozes while training. At night, they train again. Next morning, Anya feels she's ready for the sport, which will hold the next day. Finally, the day comes. She dresses up for the sports, determined to win the award at school. Anya looks ready. Leader's son and friends come over and start arguing with her again. Anya wishes they could be friends to help her dad's plan, but he's not nice. Meanwhile, he also wishes to win so he can get an award to impress his dad. Class teacher instructs them on what to do as the two classes are ready. The game begins. Leader's son is the team captain, and his friends encourage him. He remembers from the information his friends gathered only the best player will be given an award. He throws the ball at his opponents, but a giant grabs the ball. Turns out he's the son of a major in Ostania. Unbelievably, he's in the same grade as them, and he's been a sports person since he was young. Leader's son tells him to be careful, but he boasts he can never be hit by them. He evaluates his opponent's standing positions, then throws the ball aggressively, and it hits 4 of his opponents at a time. They panic, but Leader's son encourages them. A flashback reveals Major's son had trained so well before the sport day, throwing a ball against poles perfectly. His dad appears, and he runs to hug him. His dad assures him he will become a scholar one day. Back to present. Anya's friend throws the ball at him. He throws it back, hits her, and she's out of the game. Leader's son tells him, "Don't think you can win easily. My friends and I had trained before now. They trained so hard." Especially Leader's son, and his friends support him. He tells them to move to the front. He then jumps on them to throw the ball. Major's son grabs the ball and throws it back, and it hits 4 of them. They try a different way to throw the ball. He grabs it again, squeezes the ball, and throws it back at Leader's son. One of his friends jumps and tries to cover him. He wants him to win the best player of the game, so he takes the hit in his place and falls on the floor. It shocks everyone. His friend cries, but he tells him not to cry and continue the game. Just then, the ball hits him too. Mayor's son targets Anya next. He throws the ball at her, but she dodges it, and it surprises him. He throws another ball. Anya dodges again. She dodges his shot over and over, no matter how hard he tries. But the ball hits other players, making him feel Anya has a superpower. Leader's son is impressed. Even class teacher bows to compliment her dodging skills. He throws the ball again, and Anya falls to dodge it. He throws another ball, and everyone panics. As the ball almost hits her, Leader's son takes the shot on her behalf, and his friends are disappointed. Anya asks, "Did you just protect me?" He says, "No, I just wanted to stop him. But you need to win for us now." As he walks away, she stands up, ready to win the game with the skill her mum taught her. Now, holding the ball, she says, "I will make you proud." Leader's son. Major's son is ready to grab the ball again, but Anya is taking her time. The hall becomes intense as Anya gathers strength to throw the ball. When she finally throws the ball, and everyone thinks it's going to be a hard hit. However, the ball just bounces. He grabs it and throws it on her head, so his team won, and they say he will receive an award. Class teacher says they don't give an award for winning a sport. He feels Anya's team played better. Anya's friend consoles her, but Leader's son is angry she lost the game. Class teacher watches them. In the sitting room, Lloyd checks Anya's test papers. She fails in all her subjects. Meanwhile, she's watching her spy show when he calls her. Knowing it's study time, she says she doesn't want to study. As she tries to run to her room, Lloyd grabs her. It worries Lloyd because Anya has to study to become a scholar and for him to achieve Operation Strix's mission. As she studies, Yor checks her test paper and says her maths isn't that bad. But she says Bondman has 2 bullets left out of 8. Hearing that, Lloyd thinks he can teach her using cartoon references. Meanwhile, Anya feels she failed because she read the wrong kid's mind. She decides to figure out which subject each of her classmates is good at, so she can read their minds during tests to pass. Lloyd thinks that if they cheat and she suddenly gets good grades, she'll be suspected, and her classmates might dislike her. Anya hears it and wonders if her classmates will dislike her if she cheats. Lloyd feels forcing her to study might make her unhappy. He decides they do other activities that can earn her a Stella star, and he suggests drawing. She draws an animal. Lloyd asks, "Is this a cheetah?" She says, "No, it's a cow." Clearly, she's not good at drawing, so he suggests playing a violin. She can't play well. He suggests playing tennis, but she's still bad jumping. She hits her head on the hurdle and cries. Lloyd feels sorry. Meanwhile, he's trying to find out which activity she can do well. Yor suggests skipping, while Lloyd feels he needs to take things easily. He remembers admin told him Anya has to be a scholar soon. As Anya skips, she falls but still says, "I will do my best." Lloyd is surprised. He then proposes they go out. The next day they visit a hospital. An old nurse welcomes them and thanks them for volunteering to help with tasks in the hospital. Though it's uncommon, some students who volunteer to help others and save lives got a Stella Star. So he thinks Anya can earn a Stella Star through this too. The nurse assigns his family a task to clean lockers in a room. While at it, Anya breaks a flower vase. The nurse is nice and suggests they arrange books in the library. Instead, Anya reads a manga book. Assigned to serve food, Anya stumbles, throwing away food. Later, she tells Dad she wants to be a nurse and runs off. She stumbles on a nurse and falls. The nurse yells, "Leave the hospital right now." Anya feels bad and says, "I'm sorry, Dad." He replies, "Don't worry, I understand." A young nurse walks past them with a boy using a stick to walk, and they walk toward the hospital pool for his therapy. At the pool, the boy asks if the pool water is cold. The nurse tells him not to worry and to go get changed. As she leaves, the boy walks close to the water and dips his hand in. Suddenly, he falls into it. The nurse comes to find him, but he's already sunk in the pool. Anya hears his thoughts with her telepathy power as he drowns. She rushes to her dad and says someone is drowning in the pool. Surprised, he asks, "How do you know?" She couldn't respond. Then she runs off saying, "I want to be a swimmer." The nurse checks the boy in the changing room but couldn't find him. Anya runs past her to the pool. She listens again to the boy's thoughts and sees the pool he's drowning in. She runs toward the pool. Without thinking, she jumps into the water to rescue the boy. As she swims, she stretches her hand but can't get hold of him. She tries harder, but then she begins to drown too. Just then, Lloyd grabs her and the boy and brings them back to the poolside. Anya lies that she saw the boy sinking when she tried to swim. The nurse carries the boy while others come to see what's going on. The boy opens his eyes and begins to cry. The nurse cries too. Lloyd tells her to be careful and not take her eyes off him. He praises Anya for noticing him, and other people also praise her. With that, Anya receives a Stella Star in school for saving a life, and everyone claps for her. Becky is so happy, saying she's the first in their class to get an award, but Damien is angry she received an award before him. The boy's parents come to thank Anya, and she waves at them as they leave. Yor hugs her, saying, "I'm proud of you," while Lloyd pats her, saying, "Anya, you did well." Anya feels happy she's able to help others with her telepathy power. Then Yor tells her, "I will make you dinner to celebrate," but she says, "No, I want Dad's food instead." Later, Admin meets with Lloyd, who disguises as an old man. She suggests they fake incidents so Anya can get more Stella Stars. Lloyd disagrees, saying it may be too risky for their spies. Then she reveals that Desmond is taking some suspicious steps already, so he needs to meet him soon. This means Anya needs to become a scholar faster. At school, when Anya arrives, everyone stares at her talking about her award. Anya feels proud of herself. Soon, Becky arrives and runs after her saying, "Good morning, Anya." Proud Anya says, "No, call me Starlight Anya now." As they move on, she says, "Anya, many students will like to be your friend now." She imagines Damien wanting to be her friend, and he invites her to his house. After, her dad's mission is achieved, but rather, he picks up a fight with her. She feels disappointed. Becky says, "Let's go, Anya." But she didn't answer until she says, "Let's go, Starlight Anya." In class, her classmates envy her, saying she's proud because of her Stella Star. Some say she pushed the boy into the pool and just lied about saving him. Anya feels sad, but Becky says, ignore them. When they ask Damien if she cheated, he says she truly earned the Stella Star, as their school doesn't give it by mistake. Though he's honest about it, he's still annoyed that she earned a Stella Star before him. Then one teacher comes in. The school bell rings for break, and the students gather in the school hall for lunch. Anya and her friends sit together to eat. Then Becky tells her to ask her parents for a gift for getting a Stella Star. She says she will ask for a castle, and her friends say it's too high. She says she will ask for a year's worth of peanuts. Becky reveals she once got a puppy as a gift, and she loves her. Anya thinks about it. As Damien passes, she asks, "Do you have a puppy too?" He thinks of his dog and Anya hears it. He refuses to answer and just walks away. She thinks having a dog like him can make them become friends and help her dad meet Desmond. She smiles. When she gets home, she kneels before Dad and asks him for a puppy as a gift. Dad agrees to buy it for her. Then Yor comes and tells her taking care of a pet can be a lot of work. But Lloyd thinks having a well-trained dog will help them secure the house. While Yor worries the dog might attack Anya one day. Anya says, "Dad, I want a tiny puppy." Yor thinks a tiny puppy might also attack her, but Lloyd says they will get one for her. Next, we see some men who raise dogs and sell. They feed them in their cage. Anya checks pictures of some dogs. She chooses the one she likes, which looks harmless. In Ostania, an old lady also acts as informant for the Westelis agency where she sells drinks at the station. At her shop, Lloyd usually meets with her to get information about other missions. The two have been working with the agency for a long time. Old lady wonders if their goal to maintain world peace will eventually be achieved. A house is suddenly on fire, and men inside it, dead. We see Lloyd inside, carrying a briefcase and walking out. He just completed a mission, and meets a man from the agency, who came to ask about Operation Strix, which is his main mission. Lloyd answers, "I'm making progress already." Now we know Lloyd used to smoke but quit to look like a responsible dad to Anya. At home, Anya and Yor finish dinner. Yor worries Lloyd hasn't come back. Maybe he's still with his patients. Reading her thoughts, Anya thinks, Dad's actually a spy. She helps Yor in the kitchen. Yor smells the blood from the person she killed the previous day. Lloyd walks home, feeling tired from getting a lot of missions lately. As he enters, his neighbors talk about how he doesn't spend time with his family. He overhears and feels he hasn't been acting like a real family man lately, which could make people suspect they're fake. He rushes to his room, opens the door and says to his family, "We're going out next weekend." He sees Anya draws a penguin and says, "Let's go to the aquarium." So Lloyd decides he won't take any side missions that week. Ready to go outing, but Lloyd looks completely exhausted. As they move out, their neighbors are surprised to see them together. Lloyd says they are going on another family trip, while Anya boasts that her parents always take her out to have fun, so as to look real to them. They say goodbye to their neighbors. When they arrived at the station, Lloyd sees he has another mission. He walks up to old lady's shop, and she tells him he has another mission. Lloyd declines, saying he has to work on Operation Strix. Anya calls out, "Let's go to the aquarium before we're late." Old lady overhears and says the mission is inside the aquarium. Lloyd says it's just a coincidence, but the old lady insists the East hid a capsule of secret info for making weapons inside a penguin. Lloyd becomes helpless. At the aquarium, Anya's happy seeing a lot of aquatic animals. However, Lloyd looks really terrible as he ended up taking the mission. One of their neighbors appears, and Yor suggests they join her family to have fun. Lloyd feels he has to carry out his mission quickly, since old lady told him that the East are yet to retrieve it. So Lloyd has to recover the capsule before the East does. At the aquarium, he suggests they go see the penguin first. When they got there are a lot of penguins, making Lloyd feel his mission is going to be a hard one. He seems confused. Anya overhears him, and she uses her telepathy power to read minds of penguins. Though hard at first, Anya discovers the penguin and says, "Dad, that penguin can't breathe well." Lloyd sees it and feels it might be the one he leaves, saying he needs to get some drinks. Meanwhile, at the aquarium workers' room, Lloyd disguises to be one new worker. His boss shows him around. He asks if he has learnt the names of the penguins, and he answers yes. He mentions the names of the penguins correctly, and that amazes his boss. He's impressed by his memory and observation. As they walk past the penguins, Lloyd spots the penguin with the capsule. The penguins rush at him. Lloyd feels he needs to hurry before his neighbor begins to ask for him. Meanwhile, Lloyd already learned how to feed penguins, and with that, he's able to feed all of them at once. As they move, Lloyd carries the penguin with the capsule. He says he looks sick and offers to carry him to the veterinarian. He takes her to a quiet place and finds the capsule in her mouth. Then a man appears, asking what he's doing. When he says he's taking the penguin to the vet, he offers to take him there. He shows him an identity that he's also the aquarium worker. When Lloyd checks it, he discovers it's fake. The man pulls a gun, but Lloyd knocks it away with a bucket. The penguin cries, and Lloyd looks confused. Meanwhile, Anya has been watching him and Yor looking for her. The man runs out to tell his comrades about Lloyd. Anya grabs his clothes and shouts, "Mom, help, he's trying to kidnap me." Yor kicks him, sending him hanging off the roof. She carries Anya. With Anya's help, Lloyd retrieves the capsule and gets more information about it from the captured man. Neighbors already saying he's taking too long. When he arrives with a penguin doll, which he won from a game challenge, he says he had to play many times and won because he knows Anya will like it. Neighbors say he's a good dad as Yor and Anya play with the doll. Lloyd tells neighbor he always loves to do what will make them happy. They are impressed. Lloyd, though tired, feels relieved he's able to make them think their family is real. Now, his mission to maintain world peace continues. Later, the aquarium worker Lloyd disguised as is put in charge. His boss claims he's learned everything. Anya introduces her former baby doll to the penguin doll and acts like when she was with the organization that made her. She names her new doll Agent Penguinman, saying they must work for world peace like her dad's mission. She shows them around like they are real agents, making Lloyd think she's acting her favorite spy show. She also introduces her mum to the doll and says, "Dad and Mum are my trusted goons." She takes her to the bathroom and her room again. Then she takes him to the top secret spot, her parents' room, and says there are dangerous weapons inside. As she was about to open the door, Lloyd grabs her and angrily says, "I've told you never to enter my room." Anya feels bad and begins to cry, saying, "I hate mom and dad, and I'm going to run away from home." Lloyd feels that is going to ruin his mission. He then takes her doll and acts like one of her agents. Yor too joins him. Anya asks them to follow her to catch some bad guys across the street. As they play, people watch them, but Lloyd knows he has to do this so Anya will be happy. That's all for today. If you like this anime, make sure to comment why and help us reach 1,000 likes. That way, we'll know you really want the next part.